Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Streggy, and today I'm going to do another review for you about a movie sequel to a movie musical from 2008, which I had just recently done before this. Except this one is done 10 years later, and it's directed by someone different. The film is called Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And the director is, in fact, Al Perkins, or Parker, Al Parker, otherwise known as Oliver Parker. And the story line is totally new, but it's set in the same, based on the musical by Katherine Johnson, which I don't think I mentioned before. And it was originally conceived by Judy Kramer, and it was based on this film was also based on the songs of the Swedish band ABBA as well. So we have a different kind of a story line here. Evidently, Sky has been offered a job to stay on wherever he is. Sophie has turned her mother's place into a grand opening of a hotel on the island, and evidently she lives there with her dad Sam. What I like is that all of the original characters have returned to this film, and we also have Andy Garcia, who is evidently someone who helps oversee some of the things that have gone on the island, including things dealing with the hotel. And so we have Lily James playing young Donna. So evidently, it's been a year since Donna has actually died, and we don't know why. So there is a little bit of sadness involved here, because obviously she is missed by the characters involved with the hotel. Her friends, Rosie, and Tanya return to the island, but not as perky as they had before. But they are all invited. The fathers that wanted to be part of Sophie's life. To the opening, the grand opening of the hotel that she has, but things begin to threaten the grand opening. Evidently, a storm happens, and not just a storm happens there. A storm happens evidently in the past, and that's what it kind of reflects on. What this film does is it goes and tells kind of the backstory of how young Donna ended up graduating, and going over to this island, falling in love with the broken down house, and ultimately getting a job as a singer at a local cantina of sorts. So I know she invites her friends along, and she ends up having some relationships with some younger men. And we see exactly what happens, what was said in the first film. And it was just kind of reprised in this film. But what I did like is that you did get to see a different set of songs. And I do like how Thank You for the Music was was sung in the very beginning, because that was one of my favorite songs that Sam sung in the musical, at least the one that I saw. So ultimately, um, what happens is, I think they kind of connect some of the past with the present, and there ends up being a bunch of dock workers that end up being like somewhere off the coast somewhere, where that end up being the party of people that goes over to this island. And I think all is made well again in the end. And Cher ends up showing up as the grandmother, or the great grandmother, who had excommunicated her daughter Donna from her family, because she'd actually gotten pregnant with Sophie. So having them to meet towards the end was different. Um, I mean, Cher is definitely held up over time, and even she ends up having a relationship in here somehow, some way. So I guess this was a movie to tie everything thing together. I mean, things didn't need to be tied together so well, but I did like the execution of the way the songs were used in this film, and I did enjoy the characters seemed a little forced, although I did think that Lily James came naturally to the role of Donna. And I do like the fact that her friends, who played young Rosie and young Tanya, looked exactly like they would have possibly. And young Rosie was played by Alexa Davies, and young Tanya was played by Jessica Keenan Wynn. So I did enjoy those two characters. I mean, there was a little bit of a love infatuation going on with Bill there for a little while. In fact, some jealousy from young Rosie that you got to see. So as far as Julie Walters, character Rosie, she seemed a little distant this time. I don't think her spunk was as much there as it was in the first film, and that's one thing I forgot to mention in the first film, is that for a little gal, she seemed to have a lot of character, and that's one thing you gotta realize, is there are characters that you just have to love just for the sake of loving, and I just enjoyed her character in the first film. So hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Oliver Parker did work, in fact, with with some pretty incidental production companies: Universal Pictures, Legendary Entertainment, Perfect World Pictures, Little Star, Playtone, Dentsu, Fuji Television Network, and the Croatian Audio Visual Center. So evidently part of Croatia had something to do with this film, which is kind of unique. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Here's what the film looks like. I thought it was entertaining. I didn't mind many of the characters. So there you have it, folks. If you saw the film, let me know down below what your thoughts of the film were, and definitely let me know what your take on it was. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate the traffic ahead of time. I'll definitely have some more cool reviews coming up. Hopefully you can check out some of my previous reviews. I know I'm not the greatest reviewer, but I enjoy describing these films for my own self. But there you have it, folks. Thank